On this episode of the Cheatcoders podcast, we are joined by the boys from the Tings podcast to discuss their origin and growth as podcasters, as well as the potential in Western Sydney and the importance of collaborating and uniting as a community. We also discuss the emergence of a giant cow and the possibility of dimming the sun to minimize global warming. Now let's start the show. What up? Welcome to another episode of the Cheatcoders. My name is Raf, and this is episode number 58, if I could remember. And today with me, my usual suspects of Nathan Blazing and Don Doing Stuff are not here. Nathan Blazing woke up this morning losing his voice. I think that's not a valid excuse, but whatever. And Don is in Bali, and I don't think that's a valid excuse.
No excuses.
But whatever. But I am here holding the fort. Luckily, I have 4 other guys with me, and they are my guests. And this is the Tings podcast. Please introduce yourselves the way you would introduce yourselves in a podcast. So start off with
Richard Quintana, aka Ricky T, aka RQ, aka Swami Dhyan Advait, aka Ricky Tana.
Hey.
Be Radical Brennan.
He is radical with his glasses. What's going on there?
The 80s guy. That was so bad. Alright, next.
I'll keep it simple. My name is Pierre. They call me P. Diz on the podcast. What up?
And my name is Eski. Why are you wearing sunnies?
Oh, let him.
Because
Yeah, can do whatever I want.
What's up to you? He's
he
radical.
has to block the flashing lights of life.
Oh, right,
Fame.
right.
The
You
fame,
made
the
it on
fortune.
the cheap
The Cheatcoders.
The cheat
The cheat things. The cheat things. But these guys do their own podcast. Where can they find you so they could get into your podcast?
Only on Soundcloud.com. we are looking to get it on all the major podcasts like
So
Apple and Spotify, but
Deep Tings _ the podcast.
yeah,
Beautiful.
On Instagram and on Spotify.
Instagram too. Yeah.
So what's your podcast about? So just to give an idea of what the audience can expect when they click on that link that you just shared.
We don't fucking know.
It's just us 4 having a bit of a chat. We pick some topics and go as deep or as shallow into them as possible. That's pretty much it, I think.
These topics can go to anything like trucks, water.
And circumcision, like our
We
10th
did it.
episode with Mr. Raf Flores.
Yeah, we just did our podcast episode. So we're doubling podcasting today.
Yeah.
So hopefully your minds
Putting in that
are
work, you know.
putting in the work, man. Hopefully your minds are still awake. Got some ideas that we could share, and then we could just expand on all these things. Because
So we've all
let's
told
go.
a bit of mess before this podcast,
That's
so we're
it.
all on ball.
Let's do our Deep Tings version of the Cheat Coders. Dive into our stuff, and then hopefully, get some nice ideas out of it. So let's get into the news. Let's go to the first article, which is the big ass cow in Western Australia. I think it is.
I think you have to describe it because
All right, cause so there's a cow that's gone viral in Facebook or whatever social media, and even in the news, where you find that there's a picture of this cow. Does anyone have a picture of it?
Yeah.
It literally is
That's
twice
it.
as
Have a
big
look.
as the other cows.
Yeah. So it's a herd of
Massive.
it's a herd of cows, right? And then you see this gigantic cow.
Whoa, shit.
can you
That
put it into
stands out.
perspective, like how?
No, you'll see it here.
So it's pretty much like twice the size of a normal cow.
Holy shit! It
Whoa, what the
is
fuck?
legit.
Yeah.
double.
And this has gone viral. So
It's a dairy cow.
it's a dairy
Is
cow.
it male? Female.
I'm not sure. I've only seen
Cows
the picture.
tend to be females, right?
Nah, that's bullshit, man. But what's your thoughts on that? There is a cow this size
Is it?
lurking in Australia.
Do we know if it's natural or was it bred to be that big?
Either way, either way, that's a big ass
The
cow.
enormous giant cow in Australia is too big for a slaughterhouse.
Well, hey,
Why?
it lucked out then.
It's huge.
It's kind of like the idea, because I do fishing. If you catch a big fish, it's not going to taste as good as a smaller fish, because and they're the main source of how fish is.
What's the biggest fish you've caught?
The biggest fish I've caught is probably 40 centimeters.
Can't say
So
his girlfriend.
hey, the catch of the day, but of the year, of the lifetime. I love you, babe. Trying to save my own ass. But I think that goes with cows as well. Like the bigger the cow, everyone automatically thinks, oh, the more meat you can get, but the meat quality is probably not as good, or probably even not even feasible to eat. So let's. But this, now that you can't eat this cow is gonna. I don't know if it's gonna live long enough, but is it possible that this is a beginning of gigantic animals happening or lurking around the world?
What do you mean? As in, like, are they gigantic animals for us to eat, or gigantic animals for as living beings?
As living beings, like lurking, like this is probably one of many. There's probably something in Argentina, a huge bull or some sort,
Yeah.
or like that no one even knows about. This is kind of like Bigfoot, but they actually found it in a herd of cows, or like it's the first time that this is like.
How has this not been reported earlier? I mean, I'm assuming that this has been in like some guy's paddock, and this is this guy's like this is this guy's cows. Why is he only coming out with it now?
You've seen the story of Superman, right?
No. Explain.
So Clark Kent, Superman came to Earth and then met this farm family that brought them up, but he didn't showcase his superpower because they wanted to keep it hidden.
So he didn't. The cow didn't want to show everyone how big he was.
Yeah, so
because he wanted to keep.
He was hidden.
His growth hidden.
Hidden in a barn, in a house, kind of like a prison.
Oh, and
now
now
thinking
it's
about
big, so it
and
becomes
wait,
a huge story.
you never know.
Oh, true.
It becomes a huge story, and now like maybe this farm is using it as a way to promote some sort of thing that they have. They probably have a product.
Big cow milk.
This is the rollout of the farm, if you know what I mean.
Drink this milk and you'll be jacked.
Ooh, the milk of this
perfect
cow.
protein
Ooh.
milk.
You never know. Like it might come into, because this guy's not going to die. This cow's not going to die for a while unless it's like natural causes, or is just like how giants in general in humans, if they're big, they don't last long. But this cow's milk, you reckon us Asians can drink this milk and become what we need to be? 6'7"
Great balance.
beings that is not Yao Ming.
Nah,
Yummy.
not at all. I think we drink that milk, us Asians, and we'll get cancer because it's genetically modified. Fucking
Yeah, I reckon.
Bigfoot.
Who in this room thinks that this is genetically modified? Cow. It's not natural.
I don't think it's natural.
I don't think it's natural.
No, I sort of like skimmed through the article,
Which is good to have you on board.
and it said it was the same reason why we get like the world's tallest man. It was
Gigantism.
it's just an anomaly. Is that the word,
Yeah.
or a phenomenon where?
This is the Andre the Giant, but
yeah,
cow.
this is the Andre the Giant of cows.
Bro, reason I don't know this for sure, but like apparently we get like gigantic people because they're bred with previous species of humans like back in the day, which have the DNA of gigantic. Like you know how like there's stories of like people being like giants back in the day.
Yeah,
Apparently the genes have been like passed down and have been like what do you call it when it's like something suppressed or like, like they just all of a sudden bloom at this present moment, which sparks that fucking I don't know.
That leads me to my next question. What animal is an animal that you want to see twice the size of its natural size?
Human. I want to see a 12-foot human.
A 12-foot human.
Yeah,
That
would be amazing.
Supposing that average
Height
is 6 foot.
Yeah.
You watch too much basketball.
I think so.
10-foot human.
No, actually, I think I would be scared of it, but like insects or
Twice the height, like a roach.
Do you want to see
Bro,
it twice?
you know what I don't want? I don't give a fuck if we become like twice the size. You know what I want? For everyone to be twice as short.
Twice as short.
Because if everyone was twice as short,
So
livestock will be twice as big as everyone else. Insects will be. We can fucking if we were really, 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 really tiny to the point where we can ride ants. Imagine how much abundance there would be for everyone.
They made a movie about
Yeah,
that.
with Matt
Isn't there a
Damon.
movie about it with Matt
Yeah,
Damon?
Yeah.
like you could shrink down
Five-
and then
it's 5 inches.
That
like
is-
you'd be able to live off whatever you have and be like live a rich lifestyle because
Oh,
you
is
only
it
need to buy
really?
like little things.
Everything's like so
Yeah.
cheap.
What's the movie called?
I watched it like the other day.
I don't remember.
Downsized.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
How long ago was it out?
This year.
What did it do?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're from the past, aren't you?
I feel like you just admit that total idea and then hold it off as your own.
That's probably how they started
Probably.
the movie. They were doing a podcast, and then he had this idea. Let's turn it into a movie.
Is that really a movie?
Yeah, and the whole premise is like they.
Pretty much what you described.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
It's like, do you
things are
wanna-
cheaper, so they buy a whole vodka bottle, like a normal bottle.
Yeah.
But they only drink a little bit.
Like it's like sips.
Yeah.
They get
Yeah.
smashed with
So
sips.
if you downsize, you're pretty much rich because the
Yeah.
money you do have can be.
So they all live in mansions and stuff.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
But is it worth it to become that tiny?
Well, you don't know until you watch the movie. I'm sure there's like
Yeah.
a moral.
They all die because
I don't know what it was.
the spleen doesn't go smaller.
Or
They just
something.
implode.
I think it's more of
Fucking
social
explode.
kind of things.
Speaking of social kind of things, the next news article is there's this scientist and group of people trying to dim the sun to prevent or minimize global warming. So the way they're doing it is I think they're just trying to I don't know if it's the word spray or let chemicals into the atmosphere to actually dim the sun. I was thinking first when I heard the article, I was thinking they're going to get like a gigantic
Umbrella. or
shade.
like in The Simpsons.
yeah. And then it's like sunglasses, and it just dims it.
Dome.
But do you think that this is a way to prevent global warming?
Depends on what's causing it.
And it depends if global warming is an actual thing or not.
Oh,
I believe
it is.
Conspiracy reason. Okay, if we go down the conspiracy reason like pathway or fucking rabbit hole,
Yeah.
it could be like another situation like I don't know fucking what's that thing called where planes spray shit. What's that called?
Pesticides.
No, where
fumigation.
planes spray. Fuck. What the fuck is that thing?
crop dusting.
No, it's
Jet.
I don't know. You know how like
yeah.
how like planes go over like and they spray some sort of fucking chemtrails.
Chemtrails.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's when the planes go over.
Yeah, and they spray
Oh,
shit.
yeah,
Pretty
over.
much described it.
Yeah. But it could be like another thing like that. Like they fucking spray some shit in the fucking atmosphere. They claim it as like global warming to put down the thing, but it's truly like a reason for let's say the government
To eliminate
to
population.
No, it could be that or like maybe to push their own agenda.
Which
I don't
is-
know. Who
what's
knows?
the agenda
Who
there?
knows?
What is the agenda? What could be the agenda? Do you think this is a conspiracy theory to just put chemicals in the air? That
Yeah,
we
see,
don't
I don't.
know?
I don't like the idea of putting more stuff in the air.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Like, have they proven that whatever they're putting out there is going to actually be effective? And even then, I'm pretty sure there's other like more practical ways to tackle global warming than to dim the sun, which will probably have like lasting effects on plants. Because once it's in the air, you can't really reverse it, can you?
Yeah.
It's going to just
Yeah,
stay there.
Like, yeah.
It's like when you introduce a species into a environment to
Cane
get rid of
toads.
like pests.
Yeah, that's exactly like we're trying to cure the symptoms to a problem without curing the actual problem itself. Like I don't know what the fuck the problem is that's contributing to global warming because I'm already.
We know what it is.
Greenhouse
It's-
gases.
It's factories being sprung up everywhere. It's people just over consuming.
Well, then why don't we bomb the factories and why don't we fucking?
Because we need it for society. right?
People
You
need
can't
to
just-
live.
Yeah.
People need
Close it
to.
down.
We just demand too much as humans. People need to start cutting down their consumption. That's what it is.
But that's the thing. Like no one wants to fucking cut down on this shit, bro. You got the fucking like apparently like the cell phone like reception and shit's fucking with the bees like. Which is why the bee population's coming down. Yet no one wants to fucking turn off the cell phone, bro. You know,
Yeah.
no one's gonna give up the cell phone.
Is
You
it because
can't
of
tell
the
everyone
signal
to do
waves
everything.
that's fucking
Yeah.
up the bees? Is that what's...
Apparently.
I don't know.
Bees? Are we talking bees? As in like the buzzy things?
Yeah,
Yeah, bees.
So
Bumblebee from Transformers. That's what we're talking about.
I'm just trying to get the connection. So
Yeah.
the mobile phone is causing
Is that another
A
conspiracy
depop-
theory or is this for real?
I
a
think that's for
depopulation
real.
in bees.
I think that's for
Why
real.
bees? Why not?
So
But
I think something to do
is
with
that-
signal waves or something.
Yeah,
okay.
I think that's how bees find their way home or something like that.
so we're just misdirecting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they can't.
So bees use reception as well. But
Yeah,
They got Google Maps on their mind. It's like I need to find.
I mean, no.
Animals do that. Like birds, they use signals to kind of migrate,
sea
like
animals.
magnetic
Yeah,
signals and whatnot.
Whales and stuff. Yeah,
And like, you know, snakes
yeah,
can
yeah.
see infrared. Like animals can see things that we can't perceive.
and we humans think that we thought of it first.
yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Like, oh, we created Google Maps.
Oh, you know what I
So-
heard? You know what? Like an interesting thing I heard of the other day, like when it comes to problems and whatnot. If you think about your problems, like any problem that occurs and whatnot, like that you in your head, like fuck, like, name a worry that you guys have,
Remember what?
like a worry.
I'm running late for work.
Okay, cool. You're running late for work. If that's a worry in your head, and you, fuck, I forgot what I was trying to get at.
Just don't think about it. And
No,
you
no.
won't-
Oh, okay, so basically, okay, I'll use the example that I heard on the podcast.
Okay.
Like, one was this guy was annoyed because he was being like not appreciated at work. Like that was his constant worry. And another thing was that his girlfriend was cheating on him. So that, like, he just mentioned those two worries.
Okay.
Not that they were actually happening, but then the guy goes, how many other people in the world have that same worry? And then let's say hypothetically like 99% of the people in the world have that same worry
Yeah.
of being underappreciated at work, and like let's say
Not
yeah,
trusting the.
yeah, and then
partner.
like probably like let's say 98% of the people in the world like have that worry of being cheated
Yeah.
on by their partner. Does that thought make that thought your own, or does that make it a collective consciousness thought? Because everyone in the world has that same worry or has that same doubt in their mind. So you could essentially separate yourself from that thought and separate yourself from that worry and be like, okay, cool, that thought isn't my own. That's like that's a thought that's been placed on me by society. So I could separate from that thought, and then if that thought does arise, I can entertain it and be like, oh, okay, cool. Or I can just be like, oh, fuck, it's not gonna happen. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
It
So
depends on what's happening though.
Huh?
Everyone has their own experience. So
Yeah.
I guess your own experiences of what's happening at the time affects how you see it.
Yeah, but if it's just a worry, like if there's no real need for concern, does that make sense?
yeah, the point you're trying to make is like separating yourself from the thought.
Yeah, I'm essentially trying to get at hive mind. Do we all think the same
Oh,
shit?
okay.
You know what I mean?
You're
Have
joining
you-
up all the
depends,
subjects.
yeah.
Back into bees.
He's trying to get to.
Yeah,
No.
which brings us back into bees as well.
Wait, is your concept that all of us, our thoughts are linked, or like bees,
That's what
we
he's
have the
saying.
same kind of thought process because society dictates us to think that way?
A bit of both. A bit from column A, a bit from column B.
Because it's column B where like society kind of makes us think these certain things. I think that's fact.
Yeah.
That happens.
So
But
we are
what-
bees.
Yeah, in a
Essentially.
sense.
Yeah.
'cause
We are bees, and
No.
we shouldn't use our cell phones. So we are essentially killing ourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
pretty
we-
much.
we are
That's
kind of-
true.
That's
legit
another.
true,
There's
bro.
another theory on that
That's
too.
legit true. But then so many people can derive fucking happiness from their cell phone. So many people can derive like sadness from their cell phone. You know, like it's
Yeah, this has opened up what we always had. Like we always had thoughts of we're getting be happy about this and about that, and now we could see what everyone else is thinking.
Yeah,
and
man.
Everyone is sharing their thoughts. Everyone's sharing their highlights mostly, and now we're just. I think the phone has actually. People always say that exposed our insecurities to the world because everyone's like pretty much just looking at the phone and be like, oh, these guys are doing traveling and all this stuff, things I want to do, and then everyone's exposed with these things, these little things we have now. This is a gateway to our souls now, pretty
100%.
much.
100%.
So that brings back to us dimming the sun for global warming.
Yeah. Before we get into that topic, I got a question for you guys. How do you guys deal with your insecurities?
Ooh, how do you guys? You are the deep tingers.
Yeah.
And how do you deal with those deep things?
It varies depending on what the
What it is,
insecurity
yeah.
is. Like if it's something you can change,
Then you
Change
it's
it.
not, and well, obviously it's not easy to change it because you're insecure about it.
Okay,
but
let's say for example you're in a moment and you feel insecure at that moment. How do you deal with insecurity?
I get crippled by fear and I just crawl. No, I don't know. I don't
I
know.
think it's a mindset thing.
Yeah,
We just have to like.
It is.
You get
You're constantly just battling yourself.
it really depends what it is because sometimes you can just think your way out of it. Be like, I'm the only one worried about this. No one else is, and then you have that thought process and you're like, okay, it's not so bad.
Yeah.
But
I try to just build a wider, open perspective. Like someone has it worse than I do. Like, I shouldn't complain about me being late to work when someone is struggling to get work. Someone's like can't even get work because of prejudice. Someone doesn't even live in a world where there's a way to work or evolve. Like, it's just thinking like things can be worse. Then that kind of like says to me like my insecurity ain't shit compared to someone else's. Like, I should be grateful for what I actually have rather than focus on that one thing that I hate constantly. So it's just trying to change your perspective, make sure that you are aware of your surroundings and seeing yourself in a bigger picture, because that's it's kind of hard to just see when you're close to an object. You might as well just step back, see what it is. So that's
The
kind of
changing
way.
perspective.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I thought it-
awareness is power.
Yeah, 100%. I think another way to fucking deal with insecurities is just to like address it then and there.
Yeah.
Does that work for you guys?
It's kind of like
for
how
example,
if you have a problem, you have to say the problem.
Yeah,
And then that's the first step to solving it, you know?
100%. Like if ever you guys are in like feel weird at any given moment, the moment you guys address it, like if for example if you feel anxious and then you go and then the moment you say, oh, I feel anxious, then you guys feel like better from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At times, depends.
When's the time that you didn't?
I don't know, if you get anxious about something, sometimes just addressing it, just saying it out loud doesn't fix it. It just
True.
confirms, oh yeah, I am anxious. Oh crap.
Yeah, it gets fucking
Yeah.
even worse and
It all
worse.
depends. Depends on the person, I guess.
Yeah.
Is that someone's phone that they put on silent?
Yeah, it's mine. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. All right, let's go straight to our intermission song.
Oh, okay.
And the intermission song for today is Timba's new song, which is the video is coming out really soon. I filmed the video, and I just wanted to promote myself as well as my homie.
I haven't
Timba
heard this
Tista.
song actually, so
So
you guys are about to get a reaction.
this song is called "All In" by Timba Tista.
Everyone put your headphones on.
Oh.
Timba.
Can we
and
sing
is-
along?
Yeah, if you want. You can even talk over the track and see
We can
the
sing along
reaction.
to
I'm
it.
just gonna go doing the whole track.
Alright, I'm playing it now.
Hey, should we freestyle over the track?
Oh, I can't do that, man.
Cooking the beats in the pipeline. I just be waiting on my time. Playing the game from the sideline. Coming up strong on the blood side.
Hey.
Is it just Tim on the track?
Yeah, it's just Tim and Christian Joseph produced it.
How good's the song, Brennan? Oh, that was sick.
Hey.
Wow, that's so good, bro.
Yo. Should we freestyle? I can't freestyle.
And that was Timba with his latest song that came out a couple days ago.
Timba!
All In.
Pretty good. As you don't have
Shout outs
the
to
headphones in.
him.
I can
Shout
hear
outs to him.
Shout out.
Alright, so I am here with the Deep Tingers. Oh, you're the Deep Tingers or your fans are the Deep Tingers?
They are the deep tingers.
So the fans are the Deep Tingers and you are the Deep Tings podcast.
Deep Tings podcast.
So we did talk about what your podcast is about, where they can find your podcast, but how did this podcast came about?
Who knows the story in detail?
I think it's all we have our own story.
Yeah, we all
collaborate.
Started one summer night.
As
It just
always.
came about, to be honest. Like, I don't know.
I think for Eski and I, it started a couple of years ago because Eski has always been like a long time podcast listener, and then he told me, he's like, it's something you would get into if you started listening to it. And it took me the longest time to actually start getting into it. And then when I started picking up a couple of podcasts of my own,
Yep.
I started listening. I was like, oh, this is mad. And then we just thought, you know what? Maybe we could like do this. Like our conversations could be interesting enough. I think we're interesting enough to kind of have a viewpoint on certain things. And then for the longest time, we just kept talking to each other saying, oh, we'll do it one day. We'll do it one day.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, one time, Ricky, you were there. You were at our house. when my older brother was going book, 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 book.
Oh yeah.
I remember we were talking about making a podcast then. At the time, it was called the Ian. What was it called?
Feel me in. I remember
Feel Me In, yeah.
Can you feel me in? Can you feel me in?
Yeah, so we were just talking about things like that.
You just wanted everyone to say, "Feel me, Ian."
Yeah. Feel me, Ian.
Yeah, so things like that. We'd have conversations like that all the time, but nothing would ever happen. This was before we met Bren, and then when Bren came along,
Hello.
yeah, he started. As you know, he starts listening to Joe Rogan, and he's like, "Yeah, we could do a podcast." And it all just culminated in all of us at one point saying, "Yep, it's time. We have the means to do it. It's a good time to do it. Let's give it a go." And then here we are.
So, why did you? Was this your idea to like branch out into something else? Because I know that you're a musician by heart.
Yeah.
And you do other things as well. You got the you are in street uni and you help out. What's your background again?
I'm a youth worker.
You're a youth worker. Is it
And drug and alcohol counselor.
Actually, Filipino.
So when did it when does the idea spark, and what's the reason behind of you trying to build this podcast?
I think, and you can relate, just like you, as a creative, you just want to keep creating things or creating content and expressing what your thoughts are and feelings, and podcast was just another avenue for me, at least, to just express that, and it was fun. I also had the means of doing it. I had the resources because as a musician, I had my own studio at home, so I just said, "Look, we can start it because I've got the Tings to make it happen." And then that's where it came from. It was also an excuse for us to, as friends, to just chill,
And
get together and meet up, because
like regularly.
For those in high school, you don't get to see your friends every day. You know, you go off and you live your own lives. For the Deep Tings podcast, it was an excuse for us to get together. So that was really sort of the thing that kept it going.
Yeah, might as well like kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah.
Do this. You guys hang out. Did you guys invest anything into this podcast?
Yeah, so we put a bit of money into it just to like get the microphones all sorted. Pierre shouted the Soundcloud membership.
Pick up to Pierre.
I know you. I know you're paying.
I keep
paying monthly.
keep saying I'm gonna fucking pay you $40 too, bro.
Yeah, it's all good, Rezzy.
Just wait till it blows up, and then you can just throw in the invoice. But like, I've noticed that you've got the same mic. It looks like they're pretty much the same
but
microphone.
these microphones off eBay, real cheap.
Got the podcast arm. Nearly every podcast has those arms.
Yeah, it's really fun.
For the microphones. But like, is this like? How are you feeling? You're 10 episodes in. How do you feel in terms of your growth as a podcaster? Because at the start, you are dwelling. I think in your mind, you were just trying to dwell into what it is. But 10 episodes in, you kind of got a sort of idea of the groove of what this podcast is about. Or are you still trying to figure it out?
But I think
I think a bit of both, because I'm pretty surprised with this kind of stuff we come out with. Sometimes after episodes we film, I'm just like, that didn't feel good. But then I'd listen back and it's like, okay, actually this turned out quite well. Helps with Eski's editing, with all the fillers and all that. But yeah, it's just where we've come from with episode 1 and where it is now. You can see the improvement in terms of how much better we're flowing and the quality of it all. But at the same time, we're kind of stagnating because we have all these ideas, but maybe too many, and we just don't kind of follow through with a certain one. We have like advice for each other, but we don't really take it on board. We just kind of fall to the same old habits.
Yeah. After each episode, I'm like, guys, stop saying or stop saying. I mean, everyone has a tendency to say, well, I mean...
You guys listen to yourselves? Do you listen to your episodes after your podcast? Or do you just be like, I'm going to podcast, record my voice, I'm not going to hear it again?
I listen to it at least once.
I listen to it a lot.
At least once. Sometimes, if I like it enough, twice.
Or twice. When I go running, I go listen to it.
Oh, man.
I find, you know why I don't listen to it? Because I know I'm going to listen back on it and be like, fuck, I sound like a fucking retard, man. And I don't want to put that fucking thought in my head, you know?
You got to address it sometimes. When you have an insecurity, Richard, you just got to address
it.
I know. You know?
Well, I'm addressing it now. I'm saying it. But I think it's just me overthinking, you know? Like, I tend to overthink a lot.
Yeah,
and then
the hive minds.
Yeah, hive minds. I'm pretty sure I'm thinking the fucking same thing you guys are thinking.
I think that's a creator's mind anyway. Like, in terms of analyzing your craft, you are gonna micromanage or look into a microscope of what you're doing, and then you're gonna outline things that even the listener won't even pick up. It's like I said 10 times within this sentence, or the way that I flowed this conversation is not the way that I wanted to flow it. It's just like you as a musician, you would understand listening back to your tracks. You've experienced I know, like as a rapper as well, you've experienced you listening to your track. You said that's the final mix I want, but then you listen to it as you're like somewhere else 2 days later and be like, I got to re-record that. But this is different because podcast is one take, pretty much. You can't really I think the beauty of one of the beauties of the podcast is being open to the fact that it's one take. Like there is no way we could retake it. Once it's out, it's out. No editing, no nothing or whatever. Do you think that you've become a bit more open to yourself in terms ever since you started a podcast because of how the podcast platform works in terms of it being one take and your insecurities are out there for everyone to see whether you know it or not?
B-Rad, because I know that when Brennan started, he wanted to get his like speech delivery performance down.
Even now I still do. Like that's why I listen to it. Like you don't know until you actually know and listen to yourself. And it's like awareness. You have to listen, like actively listen for it.
Yeah.
And then you don't know what's wrong unless you actually try and work on it.
Do you feel like you've been better throughout the?
Well, I hope so.
Well, I mean, you've been listening to yourself, right?
I mean, like objectively, if you could, when you listen back to your own voice and you can just separate yourself from that voice, do you feel like your performance has been better?
Yeah, from episode 1, there's always room for improvement.
Always.
I like to think we all fucking improved from episode 1, man.
Yeah. I think you guys have. Because
Trust me, Rap, we've had fucking shocker episodes, bro.
I know.
distinctly remember one episode where we were like, fuck. We didn't even air it. we were like, wow. I think it's because we tried to go too deep, too quick. When
It was like, what, our 3rd episode?
Yeah, it didn't even feel like natural yet. Because at this point, when we first started, I was very conscious. I was like, there's a mic in front of me, I'm speaking, and it's going to get recorded. But now whenever we do these podcasts, it feels like a conversation. It doesn't feel like we're doing a podcast. It doesn't feel like I'm being recorded or anything like that. So I feel more comfortable, essentially.
And like when we asked our friends to join as guests, they're like, they're a bit worried, they're scared, and they're a bit shy. It's like, we keep telling you it's exactly the same thing as a normal conversation, just with microphones.
You just got to forget that the microphones are on or like they're in front of you. You know, you just got to, I don't know, I think podcast is a really good thing if you're really open-minded and you just it's kind of like an out-of-body experience. You just go cruise control.
Exactly.
And then you just see how the conversation flows because that's you, like when you forget it's a podcast and you just talk, that's when all the stuff happens. If you start constantly, this goes with anything. If you start thinking of what it is and then continuously thinking.
Like you can feel that. You can see that they're thinking about it. It's not like natural. It's not a flow.
Yeah. So like if you're thinking of like how is this event going to work? Like if you keep thinking, oh, we need to flow it this way, that's the only thing that's going to be like showcased to everyone. If you just let go of everything and just see it for what it is, things can happen. That's when you start noticing a development and other things that you wouldn't have noticed if you were too focused on one thing. So
but the constant like feedback we get from every single guest is after every episode, they're like, that was an hour, that was it, it felt like nothing.
Yeah, it flies.
Yeah, and how do you, in terms of people around you, how did you feel about promoting this podcast? Because without listeners, there's no podcast. So how did you go about in terms of telling other people about your podcast?
Put it out there, man. Legit. Like we're in a whole new age where fucking social media is running everything. You know, like one person puts something out, and the next thing you know, fucking 300. Bro, if you have 300 followers on Instagram, all you gotta do is put one post out or one Instagram story, and then that's
it spreads.
Yeah, it's directly in front of fucking 300 people, bro. You know. So I think it's just a case of grabbing people's attention for them to actually click or listen to the podcast itself. Like obviously, like because like in our group of mates, we're the only people doing this sort of thing, you know. So naturally, people are just gonna like listen to it. So, and if it's good, like people will continually to listen to it. If it's not, then you just have to reassess and be like, okay, cool, what am I doing wrong? Like, yeah, I think it's like that. Like, if it's good, it'll take off. If it's not, like, you just have to reassess. That's all
It is what it is. It's
Yeah.
like this podcast, like our podcast or your podcast, would look at it and be like, it's not my thing.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather listen to something else than this, as you know. But there will always be that group of people be like, this is what I want to hear. Like I want to get an insight of conversations between mates in terms of this topic.
Yeah.
Like people, there is a niche market of people who would like to listen to conversations that we have on the Cheatcoders, the conversations we have on the Deep Tings podcast. So it's always, this is a billion people in the world. Like there's got to be like a market for everything that you talk about. Like
Yeah,
you know,
bro.
you just have to find that niche. Are you guys able to find your own niche in your podcast, or are you still trying to figure out? Are you just going with the flow, or are you trying to see, like, try different demographics or something?
I think we're going with the flow, but every now and then we add a little dose of something different.
Mm.
I don't know, that's my behalf. I don't
Yeah.
know.
'Cause I think in the beginning we're just targeting like our mates, our direct mates,
Yeah.
and then hopefully they share it with people they know, and then with the guests that we have on, we share it with their circle. And if it's good enough, people start talking about it.
Yeah.
And when people talk about it, others get curious and then try to jump in. But yeah, at this point, I think we're just really going with the flow, and occasionally we try to pick topics that address a certain group,
Yeah.
or pick topics that go towards a certain direction that's different from what we usually go to.
Okay.
I think the premise has always been to be like a platform for our friends to speak freely, you know what I mean? So that's essentially all it is, like just giving a platform for our friends to speak freely. Naturally, everyone's group of friends are always different. So if you were to jump on our one, for example, like your audience will be different to like Pio's audience, you know what I mean? So it's just giving, because to be fair, bro, it's fun, you know? Like
I'm glad you really brought that up, because we had the conversation before in terms of how to build an audience, we need to collaborate.
Yeah.
We mentioned it on the Deep Things podcast, episode 10. Check it out. And
Yo, check it out.
we have
I like
to.
how you looked at the camera.
Yeah,
as well.
the audience.
I'm still trying to
break
figure that out. Like,
break
who
the
do I look
fourth
at?
wall.
The camera there.
Yeah, who do I look at?
But we need to collaborate, because like everyone has a different niche, and like we also talk about how people need different, like creatives need different platforms to promote their stuff. Like how saturated is the music world now. Everyone's this internet thing, this phone thing has really opened doors for people who 10 years ago couldn't even see themselves as a musician, but you can now put your music and there's out in the world and people will be able to hear it.
Yeah.
With that, we can hear some good musicians, but we also hear some bad ones.
Yeah.
But in terms of
But who's to say they're bad? You know what I mean?
it's subjective.
Like everything is from the eye of the
and-
beholder. Like,
and how can you showcase your music if you only promoting it on one thing?
yeah,
And then if we have different platforms, we can be able to give you more of a chance for someone to hear it. As we mentioned before, like when we have that conversation, it's like someone, you can drop a song, but that not everyone's going to hear it. But if people start noticing that you're doing interviews, you're doing shows, you're going on different platforms, different avenues, your name's going to be popping up everywhere. And then be like, this Esky dude, these Deep Things dudes, like they're everywhere. Like I need to hear this song I need to see what's going on. So it's just trying to get yourself out there as much as possible, trying to make sure that, you literally have to bang your friggin' knock on every single door constantly to make sure that you're heard.
yeah,
The saturation of the world is pretty much, to be heard is hard.
yeah.
So what do you reckon? Do you feel that is the way to go nowadays with the way to market yourself as a creative?
What do you mean by that?
Of course,
so, like,
Yeah.
I think
As in like
you got to work with other people.
gotta work, gotta collab,
Because-
gotta
yeah.
jump on other things so your name gets out there more.
100%, 110%. I mean, the way it's very hard for like a creative nowadays, or anyone in general, just have like put one thing out and for it to take for it to gain momentum on its own. Like each and every individual person has to, how can I put this, like consistently like live and breathe their shit and try consistently put out their stuff as much as possible. And the only way that could actually happen is not through fucking hate, but through like collaboration, you know? Because like if you take competition in the sense like if I'm going to compete with you, if we're going to compete with each other, it's never going to be. Your audience is not going to hear like my shit or our shit, or like your audience is not going to hear our shit if we're not, if we're competing in a sense, you know what I mean? Like it'll just be like hate. But then if we look at it from the perspective of like openness and collaboration, like your audience becomes my audience, our audience, everyone's audience becomes everyone's own. Like it just becomes one massive fucking pool. You know what I mean? So why have one group with a bunch of like raving fans, another group with a bunch of raving fans, and another group with a bunch of raving fans? Why not join them all together and have one fucking big ass community that supports everyone's growth? You know what I mean? So I think that's what we should start focusing on now, is banding everyone together so that we can all equally grow together as opposed to as individuals. But individual success is good, but then ideally you want everyone around you to grow, because like fuck, like if I'm going to grow, I want to see everyone at the top with me, bro. You know what I mean? Like there's no point in like being up there all alone.
Exactly. Like you can't be the only person out. Like you can't be the podcast out there, because other people will listen to other podcasts depending on, like you listen to particular music depending on your mood.
Yeah.
Like I would listen to I listen to hip hop if I'm in a, I want to G myself up. I would listen to R&B if I want to chill down. It goes with podcasts as well. Like I would listen to an informative podcast if I feel like I want to learn something, and I'll listen to just a couple of guys just talking shit if I want to just feel that feeling of being in a group, just listening like a fly on the wall. That's the way that we should go, in terms of like everyone should just continue doing what they're doing and try not to be everything, because like maybe your niche is where you should go, because like you're providing an outlet for someone else.
Yeah,
I think that's why Joe Rogan's so big, because he can because he can hit all his niches at once.
Backstory: this guy's a Joe Rogan fan.
Massive Joe Rogan fan.
He's funny.
Bro, I'm gonna get you his signature one day, bro.
Hectic. But yeah, like he can inform, he can inspire, he can be funny when he wants to, and I think that's why he has a large audience.
Yeah,
because he can hit all his targets.
Yeah,
bro, he's just disciplinary.
Yeah,
and he's a great storyteller.
Yeah,
that's a good topic to talk about. Do you have to do other things to be noticed out there now? Like, you're a musician, and now you're doing a podcast. Can you just be a musician and be successful, or do you have to be something else?
No way. I mean, I think
You can, I think, but it's too few and far between. It's hard to get there as just a one
trick pony.
Yeah,
because the internet is like, I think because of the internet now, everything is in demand more. We want more of you on these platforms now. Yeah. Like, I don't want to hear just your song.
I wanna see what you're eating. I want to see who your partner is. We want to get invested in another person's life.
I want to hear you conversate, or in a conversation. I want you to articulate yourself.
Yeah. Which is why Cardi B is so massive. She's not just a musician, that she's a brand. I think people can only name about 2 or 3 songs from her, but people are all following her on Instagram, and that is where she's really
shining.
That's where she's really shining. That's where she's getting most of her minutes in front of you, is her Instagram stories.
Ow. Wait a minute. Sorry.
Did you have a Cardi B?
All right, but but like, yeah, so do you guys, like, I see that for example, Ricky, you're doing the open source thing. Did you want to elaborate what is the open source movement?
Yeah, so essentially what I'm trying to push forward is, open source is essentially like we're trying to find the footing as of yet, although the premise of it is to be a world-class entertainment promotions and management agency, like for the area, by the area, so for Western Sydney, by Western Sydney. But we're just taking it as it comes, to be honest. Ideally, we just want to start promoting all local talent, like within the area, because looking into, starting to become more creative, I would say, or classifying myself as a creative, I've started to notice how deep the fucking talent pool is within Western Sydney. But then, as far as an individual's like talent perspective, like where to after, where if someone releases a track or someone releases like I don't know, someone really like makes a painting, like where do they take the art form after? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like what's the next steps?
Kind of like what we were talking about,
Yeah.
how like we need these platforms so people can actually see a different perspective of that art that you created.
100%.
Like, we want to hear you talk about like what this art means. We want to hear you talk about what this song, what's the process of making this song.
100%.
So everyone really wants everything now. Like, gone are the days we just play a song and be like, that's all I want.
100%. So right now, what I'm trying to do is like my main intention, my main focus right now, as of 2019, is to be like the main media outlet for all these creatives. But it's gonna take a lot of work. Like I've got a lot of ideas right now. I think it's just all about right now. It's just all about execution. So we've got a very, very, very good team in play. Everyone will probably be aware of who they are in the near future, purely because they'll become their own animal, in the sense where like they'll be known for who they are. But yeah, we're just taking it as it comes, to be honest. I keep saying this to everyone, man. Like it's not just my vision, it's not just fucking Eski's vision, it's not just Pierre's, it's not just Brennan's, it's not just your vision. Like we're all working towards the same vision. Like we're all just literally working on different parts of it.
Yeah.
But it's just gonna take everyone to be doing their thing to create this unified utopia, I'd like to call it, towards the end. But then fuck it, provided we all keep consistent and we all keep at it, it'll happen, man.
It will happen.
Yeah, it'll happen.
Like, if it doesn't happen within our lifetime, it'll happen in the next.
But it will happen in our lifetime. Like, I'm not talking shit, bro. Like, fucking Western Sydney's gonna be a whole new beast in 5 to 10 years, bro. Like, the movement is now.
Why is Western Sydney not popping? Like, why?
What do you mean by not
like,
pop,
why?
bro? I don't know about you, bro, but it's fucking
It's popping, but
bro.
why isn't it seen like that? Because the whole reason why we're doing these things is because we want to put Western Sydney in the map.
Yeah.
Why hasn't it been in the map? What's the reason behind that? Is it because of prejudice? Is it because like they see as Western Sydney as a lower grade than anything else?
Yeah.
Why are we having this conversation to begin with?
Well, think about it this way, bro. As you were growing up, where did you go to look for fun?
Outside.
Exactly.
You
It all
know.
starts with the people, bro. The people in the community. Now everyone's starting to realize, why the fuck should we go to the city, bro? We could all party in the area. Like that's the general direction we're going now. No one
Yeah.
wants to fucking like take a fucking hour taxi ride to the fucking city just to
Rider.
just to go club, bro. You could go fucking Rudy Hill and party, bro. You could go to a mate's house and party. Like, and that's the thing. Like, I don't know.
Well, why wasn't it
Crazy.
like that before? Like, why did we have to travel to the city and be like, okay, the East is popping?
Because I think
This is
What-
the location of the city.
that's what had the most facilities.
Yeah, I think there was more to do there. Whereas, like, you can just see the infrastructure like coming up now. Like Rudy Hill RSL across it, they're gonna make that auditorium.
Performing,
Yeah.
Yeah, performing arts kind of
I
center.
drove past it the other day. That
Yeah.
thing just keeps getting money.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
just
So
crazy.
there's things like that, and like even just things like shopping. You got all these shopping outlets coming up in the area, so it's just there's a lot more to do now. So because of that, I think it's going to attract more people to come here, and with that, more people coming here is more a venue for events. Because why make an event if there's not going to be any people, right? So because of the people, then you got an opportunity to kind of get that sorted.
Bro, and you check out the general. Look how much new development is happening all around the area, man. Like literally, look around. You go down Marsden Park. You go down in Schofields. Like literally, there's houses popping up left, right, and center. Like there's gonna be a bunch of new families in the area coming up soon. Where are they all going to go? You know what I mean? Like the population within the surrounding suburbs is gonna be so dense. Naturally, a fucking community is gonna form. It's up to us to dictate what type of community that's gonna be.
So this is pretty much just a Western Sydney takeover.
Yeah, bro, I'm not talking shit, man. Like literally, this is a whole new it's crazy because we can visually see this happen within like where
In front
we're
of
living.
us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we are living in the midst of it. And I
Western
think-
Sydney is going to take over.
Yeah.
And in terms of like, I think the creatives are going to be known because everyone's doing crazy things now. Like,
Yeah, bro.
Like the internet blew that wide open,
Yeah, bro.
and now,
Bro,
like,
the music scene, like the music scene in like within the area alone is world class. You have people like Kwame Pop, bro. Kwame's from fucking Castle Hill, bro. You have like the boys from Bodega Collective, Mosaic Records. Like literally, man. Like these guys, like music now within the area is world class. When has it ever been like that?
yeah, I think the whole thing with everyone's got access to these resources like these mics, and now their voices are starting to be heard, and now it's really popping. I'm really excited to see where the Western Sydney acts, not only musicians, not only them, the podcasters, the videographers, the photographers, anything creative, even businesses are popping now. It's just everything seems to be. This is a takeover where I just see that this is gonna be crazy within the next, what do you reckon, few years?
Bro, like it's happening now, man. But you know what needs to happen? Everyone has to be aware of it. The moment everyone is aware of it, the quicker the movement will happen.
Sweet, everyone's aware of it because now they're listening to
Yeah,
this
that's the
podcast.
thing.
No, we're not the Joe Rogan podcast. I see this guy.
Well,
falling
Brennan,
asleep.
he's the
This
Joe
guy's
Rogan
falling
of Western
asleep.
Sydney.
This guy's falling
I'm
asleep.
listening.
All right, cool. So like, you guys are a group of mates, right? How long you guys been a group of mates for?
Well, us three are mates, Ricky, Pierre, and I.
They just found
Brennan,
me.
Where did everyone do?
You just heard a podcast and you came running.
Knock on every door. Are you doing a podcast?
Ricky, Pierre, and I went to the same high school.
Fortunately, we met. We all met. We were in the same class. We met in year 7.
Same class,
Pretty
even.
much the same time.
bro, we were fucking funny then too, bro.
Or we'd like to think so.
I think we're funny.
You guys be the judge.
we had a joke of the day every day.
I mean, you set out to go and just say a joke.
No,
Like,
whenever anything
just happened.
just funny really happened, we'll just instantly go between us and be like, "That's joke of the day." Like we laughed so hard.
I don't know if we were the funniest people, but we
Bro.
thought we were the funniest people.
I
So
think
that's
we
all
were
that
the
mattered
funniest.
when
That's
it
all that
became.
matters.
Yeah, when it was like, as long as we thought each other were funny, then we made
Yeah.
each other laugh, and that's.
How did Brendan get in the picture?
I actually still don't know why he's in this picture.
Well, I'm still here.
Maybe 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, 2 or 3
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah, 2-3 years.
Just a
ago.
mutual mate kind of brought him into the circle. Which is funny though, because after getting to know him, he lived in like Plumpton in our area, like when we were
Yeah.
younger.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
And there you go.
I went Plumpton Public School
Oh, what the fuck?
until year 4. Then I moved to the Hills area.
But I feel like it was Brennan that really brought the podcast together.
I won't give him that much credit.
I do want to talk about this now. Remember when we had a podcast, an episode with you?
Yeah.
We talked about roles
Yes.
within the podcast. I want to get into your minds and thinking of who has this role, who has that role, who's that. Like,
So
what-
can I explain the roles of Cheatcoders and just correct me if
go
I'm
ahead,
wrong?
yeah.
So you've got 3 of them. You've got Raph, Nats, and Don. I feel like you're the one that has a lot of jokes, and you're the one that talks a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Yep, that's you.
Yeah, I do. Everyone else talks
everyone
shit,
does.
but I like to lean it towards the talk shit.
Talk shit. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's you. Don comes in with like facts and just, hey, matter of fact. Don comes in with that, and Nats comes in with something real deep. Every time he speaks, it's something profound. And Don also he's like the pretty boy of the 3.
He's the one that we roast
And
a lot.
he's the one that gets picked on the most too.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think we have our own pretty boy picked
Yeah.
on too.
that's why he's.
Okay, here's what I think. Before we answer that, you as an audience
Yeah, I
of
wanna
us,
know your-
what do you reckon
Okay,
would
cool.
be for us?
Cool. I can relate to Ricky
Gee,
in his role because he is kind of like the moderator, the intro. He kind of gets the flow going, the energy, and also he provides that perspective. You provide a lot of good perspectives in terms of ideas, and Eski is the what do you call it? The devil's advocate guy. It's like he
Am I really?
is. While listening to your podcast, you always like to.
That's what you're known for now, bro.
Devil's advocate.
He always likes to provide that other perspective. It's like, you know, we are talking about this idea, but what if it was kind of like this, like you'd flip it a little bit. So
Could you call him the negativity in the group?
without him, we won't be able to get that different perspective in
That's
terms of
true.
like the other side of like
Yeah.
what ifs. And you do provide also, I think your role in terms of you're the technical guy as well. In
Yeah,
terms
I
of,
do all the
you
technical
got the
stuff.
tech stuff and you get the thing going, kind of like my role too. So I'm kind of like a blend of you guys. And what you call it? Pierre is the articulate guy. He's the brain.
Yeah, that's what I all think.
He's the brain of the group. He'll provide the more. I'll break it down. Kind of thing. I'll say
let me break
this.
it
You know, I am the nurse. Yada yada. So
I know the body parts.
I know the body parts will do this, do that. So he provides a realistic, logical perspective to whatever idea you're talking about. And Brennan is the chime in. You chime in here and there. You don't speak much because you absorb all the ideas and you provide. You know, you do have your facts and stuff, and people these guys do roast you a lot.
It's alright.
It's alright.
I can't take.
Yeah, which is good. It
One
builds
time
character.
Brennan's gonna rock up and fucking blow
I'll
up.
just lose it.
Like, fuck, I hate the fucking podcast. Fuck you all.
But you guys do have that levels, which is you do understand each other's levels as well, which is great to see. Because then imagine we had two Rickies in the podcast.
They
Bro,
were just talking.
I don't think I could deal with myself, man.
Yeah.
Legit. Like, if I wasn't me, if I was someone else, I don't think I'd like me, bro. Like, in all honesty, bro.
Yeah, like you can't have two of everything. So like you do have that different perspective. That's the beauty of having a podcast because you do have that mesh of personalities just clashing in together. And yeah, listening to you from day one to now, you guys have improved. And sorry, it's beer's getting crazy. And you guys I do like the guest perspective as well when you provide the guests. Because then you provide a different the dynamics major different, like, especially when you put in a female perspective. But all right, so that's my perspective on you guys. What do you guys think of yourselves as the podcast? What are your roles? Because everyone can relate to this in terms of their friendship groups, because everyone has a role in their friendship groups. But in this podcast, what's your roles?
Bro,
Obviously, we don't pick our roles. You just end up being the
Our
way it is.
personalities
Yeah.
pick it.
we literally come here for fun. Like, like I don't see, like, legit, we're just a team, bro.
Yeah.
I don't even think we consider ourselves a team. Like, we haven't even thought of that. Like,
No, I honestly think you're pretty spot on.
Yeah.
Like, I try to be as funny as I can, and
Like you guys are all
Yeah,
funny in your
yeah,
own
I
way.
know.
That's
like,
great.
but like in my head, when I come into this, I was like, I'm gonna be the funny guy. But
Yeah,
then it comes
I-
out. Yeah, it comes out as just like I end up like, you guys will say something. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not quite right.
Yeah. That's like me.
It
Yeah.
just, it just comes out as. I hate saying it. I do know some things. I have like kind of
You're a
trivia
know-it-all.
here and there. Yeah, I'm a know-it-all. Yeah, we'll go with that. Yeah,
You're our Don.
and I do know it all. So.
Don is the guy with the facts and the
Yeah,
the
Don is
logic,
like that,
and
yeah.
he's trying to. He always try to steer the conversation to a particular serious way, as well as try to keep it on. He has his jokes, but he also tries to keep it on time and tries to segue. And he kind of flows the conversation a bit more, while I try to take it on a wild perspective.
Just
go in all in on that.
Just go in. Like I shoot my funny jokes as much as I can. Not all of them land.
Of course, man, that's what it's about.
It's all about just shooting your shot, you know.
it's all about quantity, you know?
Yeah. I'm just keep throwing all
You're a
these
machine gun,
puns.
bro. You're not a
You know,
sniper.
Eventually,
Machine gun.
some shit will stick to the wall, bro.
Yeah, and if it doesn't
But keep
stick,
in mind, you're throwing shit.
yeah, I'm throwing shit. It doesn't, you know.
Sometimes there's gold in there. But
So like even like if I throw a joke out there, if you guys don't like it, maybe someone out there will like it, so they'll laugh in their car.
People love the awkward moment of a shit joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's,
It is like
Yeah.
like when someone says a joke that doesn't land, and there's that 3-second
a-
silence, and then they laugh.
What do you reckon? Shit joke to good joke ratio would be for someone because fuck, if the whole thing was just awkward jokes, no one's gonna fucking listen, bro.
I would listen to something like that.
Really?
yeah, because it's funny how awkward it is. It's
If they own it, I'd listen to it.
If they
But
own
if
it,
they
if they
think
own
they're
it.
funny,
Yeah.
if they think they're funny and they keep showing all these
Yeah.
jokes that don't land, then
Yeah.
no, it's pretty irritating.
Yeah.
But if you own it, it's be like, okay, that was a bad joke. My bad. That's like when I was saying, like, just edit it out. just edit it out. Don't worry.
All right, guys. So your self-reflections.
I come in trying to be the funniest one, and then Ricky says some stupid shit, and I'm like, what the fuck? That's totally wrong.
Bro, I saved that and I just inhaled that, so I took it for the team.
So there's Ricky's character in a nutshell.
Like how I just cut Ian off.
What the fuck?
Yeah, bro.
That's yeah.
Yeah, so he doesn't have to say what he.
Can this capture smell too? No.
In the future, they will do it. There'll be like 5D where you can smell everything. I wouldn't want to be in that theater.
I'm curious to know what Brennan comes in. Like,
go
what
on.
do you?
Well, what is your self-reflection?
Brennan is the mystery guy. I reckon chicks dig that, right? Like you play that card a lot, don't you? Like, I'm gonna be the mysterious guy. I'm not gonna keep talking within the group, but you know,
Like, yeah.
I'll be the mysterious guy.
Every day you
I
maybe
do
just
that.
give a little piece more.
Give a piece more.
Just a little meow here and there. It's just
Yeah. No, but
You're the silent fart. No one hears you, but they feel your presence.
Well, I like to think that.
Hey, guys, what did you come into the podcast wanting to be, and what do you feel like ending up?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, when I started, I had like, I don't know. It's different when you're actually doing it. Like, there was one episode, I can't remember what episode, where I had notes.
That's what I mean. Like,
that was Ethan's episode.
Yeah, and I was like, alright, I'm gonna say all this shit. So I'd be mad. But as you go to conversation, it doesn't click, and you can't just chuck in random shit. And it won't-
Hey guys, it's not according to my notes.
So you have to go with the flow of the conversation, and then I don't know. I didn't think it worked out, so I scrapped that.
It's like, hey, one less thing to
To
do.
answer our question though.
Yeah.
Well,
what did you
What did
come
you
in
what,
thinking?
what do you want your role to be when you came in, or what was your goal?
What did you want to get out of this
Yeah.
podcast? Like, what was your aim?
well,
Personal aim.
like any podcast, like why I listen to it is to get different perspectives, to learn, get motivated. I don't know. When you get different perspectives, you get introduced to new ideas, and then I don't know. I think that makes you more interesting. Because when you're talking to someone and you have a more variety of conversation topics, it makes you interesting. And then, I don't know, when you learn new things, you can try new things out. And as a person, that makes you grow, yada, yada, yada. And yeah, I'm all about that growth thing.
Yeah.
So, what did you want to be?
Didn't you hear? He's all about the growth thing.
Like, did you want to be like
facts? Did you want to steer the conversation? Did you want to be the media?
I don't know, I try to be a little bit everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's very Brennan. I want to be everything.
But like,
Not particularly, like, focus on one thing, but just a little...
yeah, this is more personal. Everyone here is trying to personally grow as a person in terms of going through this podcast, right?
Yeah, Brennan's trying to evolve into Joe Rogan.
I think
Yeah, he's going.
Secretly, yeah.
It's going to be
But
like
now my
the
secret's out.
the Brennan
How you
experience.
gonna get white, bro?
He already is, but
Oh, true.
Yeah, I'm white.
Yeah, sorry.
This isn't me,
this is a
man.
fill-in.
Yeah.
Phil and Brennan.
So like, Ricky.
Yo.
All right, since like we what do you think is your role in this podcast?
Bro, I'll
Like,
be
what did
honest-
you own?
I'll be honest
Rather
with
than
you.
farts.
Like, I'm just here for fun, bro. Legit.
Yeah,
Like,
honestly, you are a free spirit. You just come in and do your thing.
Yeah.
And we work around you.
yeah, legit. Like, I don't know. Like, obviously, like, if I feel that I need to, if I'd like to take it into another direction or something like that, like I'd voice it or I try like push it towards like a way that I want to push it. But it's like, I don't know, bro. Like, fuck, I'm here with my mates. You know what I mean? Like, what more can I want?
Well, you're
Yeah.
always about community because even the first episode, like the first
First
one,
episode of the
Yeah.
yeah, you spoke about what was the topic? Western Sydney.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah, but like genuinely, like I feel that my purpose on this on Earth at this present moment is unity. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
I
like
feel that.
every single action that I do, like, is all directed towards unity in some way, shape, or form. So, like, I'm just trying to live my truth, man.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to do good shit. Like, I guess everyone can like relate. Like, there comes a time where you reflect and you realize how much bad shit you've done in the past. So you just want to do good shit in the future, you know. So the more good shit I can do, the more the more light I can feel, the more light I can be as a being. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But bro, legit, I don't know what the fuck this is. Like, this is what it is. Like, I'll
See
take it
where
as it
takes
comes.
yeah.
You know, I don't
Yeah.
have a role. I like to think of us as all the same,
Mm.
all equals.
Yeah. As in, like, this is an example of what you're talking about. Like, you could do your own podcast. You can do your own podcast. You can do your own podcast. You can do your own podcast. But why not just do one podcast where all of you share?
Yeah,
It's kind of like that community in a simpler scale.
yeah,
Like, imagine the community collaborating, making their own gigantic podcast in a sense.
yeah.
But you know, it's kind of like reflecting, or like Western Sydney should be like you can be Doonside, you could be Mount Druitt, you could be this and that. Like, just join forces and back to that point. We for the audience, we're not trying to, or maybe we are. We're trying to spang the point in your head
Yeah.
that
We're
community
trying
is
to
key.
plant the seed.
Plant the seed, grow it
Say
into
more.
a beautiful flower.
Yeah,
Where the bees and stuff
Yeah,
will come
come
back.
back.
Yeah.
Come back. And that's why we shouldn't be on our phones too much. But that's crazy, man. So, like, you guys are really doing a great thing, man. Keep doing it, man. Like, I will listen. I'm a great, I'm not your number one fan, but like, I'm a great fan of your art. This
who is our
podcasting.
number one fan?
Shout out to Blake Rowe.
Yo, what up, Blake? Oh, fuck, I forgot to fucking mention you last fucking podcast, bro.
We can shout him out in this episode and
Yeah.
count it towards
Alright, cool.
Shout out to Blake Rowe.
What up?
Any
Black
more
Row,
shout outs
you
you
my boy.
want to give a shout out to, just since we're in the shout out mood now?
I think Blake Rowe seems to be the...
He's a go-to guy to shout out.
Actually, because Blake Rowe, we made it a thing to shout him out in every episode.
Oh yeah.
But I think he stopped listening after the 6th episode.
Yeah, bro, I'm gonna bring it up with him. Yo,
Make sure you remind him. We're forcing a fan. Because we shout him out every episode and he hasn't listened. So.
Well, thanks for joining this podcast
Yes,
and giving your
know, man.
insight on everything. Like, we do need to unite, and like collab as much as you can. Do like get as much guests as you can, showcase as much talent as you can, because like that's the only way we could like get to that goal of showcasing Western Sydney out to the world and showcasing yourselves out to the world, because then it's all unity at the end. We're all going for gunning for that one goal. I'm gunning for you guys, and hopefully you guys
bro,
do.
gun for yourself.
I am.
And we're gunning for you.
I'm gunning myself, but I'm gunning you guys as well.
Yeah, thank you.
I
So,
appreciate it, man.